Hello, Donald Truffer again, and welcome to another video. This time it's something video game related, despite wearing the Doctor Who t-shirt with the Daleks that says exterminate. I'm sorry for any Doctor Who fans, but I'm just saying I'm going to do something different. But I will be doing something Doctor related, hopefully in a few, well, many weeks. But this time, again, something video game related. And this is actually about the Dreamcast Collection, which is an Xbox 360 game. As well as, if anyone else is curious, I've even got the PC version as well. Because I know some people are PC video gamers, I don't play video games, but I really want to get this as this part of that. So I'm just going to leave the PC version in, just focus on the Xbox 360. It's one to show people. Now, the Dreamcast Collection, an Xbox 360 game. For those that don't know, it's a compilation of 4 games that were Dreamcast games. You know, Sega Bass Fishing, Sonic Adventure, Space Shuttle 5 Part 2, and Crazy Taxi. And I think it's a very good collection Sega's made. And I was really excited to see this when it first came out. And I actually didn't buy it when it first came out. But I was really excited to get it later on, and I think it's very good for for any Dreamcast fans or people who actually never got to experience Sega's last console, because of the fact these are very good games. But there also are other games that were actually made on the Dreamcast that are absolutely fantastic. Now, I think the game itself is very good. I think the ports are good of these versions of the games, and I've heard they are actually ported. I think they were ported from the PC, so to the Xbox 360, which is very good. And it's nice to actually play these games on a much more modern console, which is absolutely brilliant. And I think it's a really good collection. The interesting thing about it is that I think the games choice, I think they're really good. I know a lot of people do go about Space Shuttle 5 Part 2 being an odd one, because of the fact I never played it until I bought this. But as many people say is that, Sega Bass Fishing, Sonic Adventure and Crazy Taxi were actually released worldwide, but Space Shuttle 5 Part 2 wasn't on Dreamcast. Now, the interesting thing about Space Shuttle 5 Part 2 was that it was actually released on different consoles before being released on the Xbox 360, which was, of course, the Dreamcast and the PlayStation 2. Now, Japan only got the Dreamcast version, whilst worldwide, except for the United Kingdom, which I'll talk about in a minute, had it released on the PlayStation 2. Now, for those that actually wondered, well, how come it never got released in the UK? Because if the game got released worldwide, even on different consoles, how come the UK never got a physical version until the Xbox 360? Now, for those that actually, for those that don't know who have heard, there was actually a story years ago with Michael Jackson. Now, Michael Jackson is obviously in the game in Space Shuttle 5 Part 2, and there was a lot of inappropriate stuff going on about him involving children, if you know what I mean. And I'll just stop there, but I'm just saying, so what ended up happening was, due to the courts happening with Michael Jackson with child molestation, if you know what I mean, it turned out he was guilty and he actually did it. So, by the end, Sega and Michael Jackson actually had like a private meeting, closed doors and everything. And what ended up happening was that Sega actually cancelled the release in the UK for the PlayStation 2. So the game actually never got released in the UK, which is an interesting story. And I think to this day, it's actually one of the most expensive European or PAL games ever released, because of the fact it never got released in the UK. So if anyone else wondered, why, that's the actual story. But I think it's a nice alternative for those actually like Space Shuttle 5 Part 2, because this collection is pretty cheap. You can get about £5 to £10 currency, sterling, pounds, our currency. So £5 to £10 is actually not bad. Because I actually got mine for £9.99 many years ago, and I was really, really happy to get it. Now, for those actually interested, there's actually no physical version of PlayStation 3, but the games were released on the PlayStation Store services, as well as the Xbox Live arcade services. So, if anyone wondered that at all. Now, my thoughts about the collection. Now, it actually came out February 2011. It was late February 2011, and I was 15 at the time, and I was with my uncle. We were video game shopping, looking at stuff, and we were in Granger Games, which is a store in the UK. So they had the game. So I didn't notice it at first, but I was looking around the Xbox 360 stuff and the Wii stuff and the 3DS. So I went round to the Xbox 360 stuff, and I was looking around. My uncle saw this, saw this, and I was absolutely shocked. Thought a Dreamcast Collection, because it came out recently. And I didn't even know that this was a thing, because around that time, I didn't really Google search for video games and stuff, and upcoming, stuff that's coming out for the Xbox 360 or the Wii or PS3. So I just used to wait until, stores if read like a little catalogue, I'd, do that. Because the fact I didn't really think you could do that sort of stuff. But, it's funny. And when I saw that collection, I was absolutely excited. Like, oh my bugger, oh my god, that is so cool. I thought I didn't even know that. And I remember my uncle said to me, oh look, there's that collection. And I sort of thought, it's that console I used to play, because, as I said before, in a few previous videos, the Sega Dreamcast was the only console that was made by Sega that I own, which is an interesting console. And I remember seeing that and I thought, that's absolutely amazing. But around that time, at the family house, my Dreamcast was actually in storage. Sorry, for 7 years. It actually was in storage from 2004 until 2013. And I thought, do you know something? I want to get back in that console. So I actually got back into it 2 years later, and I was really excited when I held that. The consoles were like so small and stuff. It's so good. And I hooked it up again, and I loved it. And I was very glad that I got back into it. And I really do thank this game, because it is absolutely brilliant. It's a really, really good game. There's the disc and the manual if you're wondered. I think it's a nice disc. The one thing that made me curious was that the side where it says, Dreamcast Collection. Because in America, when the Dreamcast was released, their games had that little curve thing on it, whereas us in Europe and Japan never had that. And it was always interesting. It reminded me of the American style and the packaging, which is really, really good. And the thing is, if you actually have never played this, or even if you've got an Xbox 360, I think you should get this game. It's definitely a worthwhile game if you've never got into the Dreamcast, or if you have, and you just want to revive and revamp yourself with the games, because it's an absolute. I think it's an absolute great game. This, and it's a shame because originally Sega was actually going to do a few more completion volumes, and they even said that if this game sold well, they would have done more. There could have been like a Dreamcast Collection Volume 2 or something, and I think that would have been good. Because when I heard this, I thought, do you know something? The favourite game of mine I have, Choo-Choo Rocket. You could easily have put it on there, Sega, because I like Choo-Choo Rocket. I know I do go on about it a lot, but it's a game. So even play Choo-Choo Rocket, it's a good game. Get it for Dreamcast, but apart from that, so I'm not going to go on a wall about Choo-Choo Rocket, but apart from that, you should get this, and I think it's an absolute, amazing collection, and I'd love to see this be compatible with the Xbox One. I know it's on the listings on their website, but that's it. So thank you for watching my video on. Actually, before I finish, I'll just show you the disc of the PC version if anyone's curious. Just there. Just there. Just curious, that's all. So thank you for watching my video on the Dreamcast Collection. Thanks for watching. See you later, and catch up on my upcoming videos I'll be doing. See you later. Bye.